Hey fam, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications. All right, folks, the woman who accused Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax of raping her at Duke University had a restraining order taken out against her in 2008. Henry, go to my iPad. This here is a story just posted about 22 minutes ago on Politico. And what they say is a man she was in a relationship with filed a restraining order against her as a result of him saying that she detained him against his will, refusing to allow him to leave a vacation home in Corolla, North Carolina, dented his truck, and also threatening to kill herself. According to this story, the man says that, that this woman, Meredith Watson, will call him 100 times in a day, sending him various text messages saying that she was also going to ruin his life. Now, according to this particular petition, within 30 days, the respondent was at my home and wouldn't leave, and the respondent was throwing property, and I had to call my sister over to the house to make her leave. On numerous occasions, respondent has started she was going to kill herself. This isn't the first time or occurrence. The petition said Watson called the man around 100 times a day and said, quote, "I'm going to enjoy tearing you down just as much as you enjoy tearing me down. Hang on tight because you are in for a ride," according to one of the text messages that the man transcribed on the petition. Now, the spokesperson for Meredith Watson has not commented on this particular story here. But again, Meredith Watson, she is the woman who's accused Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax of Virginia of raping her. We also now know that she accused Duke basketball star Corey Maggette of also raping her when she was on campus. According to these various stories, Maggette, first of all, has said he absolutely denies any and all of these allegations. She says she went to a dean at Duke and they did nothing about it. Duke University, they've come out and said that they're going to actually investigate these allegations that she claimed that a Duke basketball player, Corey Maggette, actually raped her as well. So first of all, let's go real quick now to our panel. I want to just get them to weigh in because obviously this has been going back and forth for the past 7 to 10 days. Spencer Overton is a president for the Joint Center for Political and Economic Studies. Also, we have here Malik Abdul, Republican Communications Consultant, and Scott Bolden, former chair, National Bar Association Political Action Committee. Scott, I'll start with you. You've had all of these various statements going back and forth. Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax released a statement earlier this week calling for an investigation by the FBI, saying he absolutely did not do these things. The spokesperson for Watson fired back that their client is ready to testify at any time. But here's what was interesting. They blasted him by saying he did not want, why would he not want there to be an impeachment hearing? Now, explain to folks the dance here where Fairfax is saying there should be an FBI investigation. Watson's folks and also Dr. Vanessa Tyson, they're saying, oh, they'll happily testify at an impeachment hearing. Why the distinction?
Well, because one's political and one's legal. The impeachment process, if there's an investigation, those are political votes, and the Republicans run the House and the Senate, or whichever one will be looking at the investigation, and politics will triumph over legitimacy as well as a criminal investigation. He wants the FBI to investigate because the FBI is independent, it's federal and what have you, but the FBI can't investigate because there's been no complaint filed, whether it's at the federal or state level. And we're within the statute of limitations. Both of these women, watch this, are still within the statute of limitations that they could file complaints. So it lends itself to, is this a political complaint these two women are making, or is this a criminal legal complaint that they're making that they just haven't filed something with the police?
Well, it's interesting because when Meredith Watson, when they released their statement, in the statement, they called for his resignation.
Right.
They sent the letter to his lawyer saying, do this by 3 p.m. or we're going to go public. Yesterday, Avis Jones-DeWeaver was on, and she said, wait a minute, hold up. If you want justice,
right,
why would you call for the resignation saying that's going to satisfy justice? Right. What do you make, again, of that strategy by her lawyers.
It's political blackmail. It just really is. I'm not saying that's illegal, but that's what it comes down to. But here's the other thing on the second woman. Now, I'm a former sex crimes prosecutor.
Right? Oh, you said the second woman. But Dr. Vanessa Tyson was the first one.
Right.
Who said that she forced him to have oral sex.
Right.
The second woman is Meredith Watson, who says he raped her at Duke.
Okay. So we take Watson, right? You just reported that she had this complaint against her.
This restraining order in 2008.
Right? As a former prosecutor, that's problematic because then that suggests there's some other issues there if you believe the complaint. But a TRO was issued, right? Now, secondly, you have this woman who allegedly has been raped not once, but twice while she was at Duke, told no one, filed no complaints, and now, 10, 15 years later, wants to come out and almost in political revenge for whatever reason, whether they had a relationship or not. It is rooted in politics, not in what traditionally would be a crime or even an allegation, because the police still haven't been contacted and they still don't have a complaint. And this political hearing falls in line with what their letter said to Justin's lawyers as well. That needs to be investigated, and her allegations need to be investigated, because it's hard, in my opinion. I've never heard of someone being raped twice, not reporting it in a 4-year period at a significant institution like Duke University.
Malik, again, when you look at this story, when you look at what you have here, to Scott's point, Tyson hasn't gone to Boston police or the district attorney to file a complaint. Watson hasn't gone to the DA or the police there where Duke University is to file a complaint. And so how are you looking at this in terms of, again, if you come out publicly and you want justice, well, what is the justice? Because if you file a complaint, right, and if it still falls within the statute, that to me is more justice than you simply resigning.
Yeah,
exactly.
My position is the same as it was with Kavanaugh. There are a lot of similarities here. You know, if you remember in the Kavanaugh case, Christine Blasey Ford, she never went to authorities. You know, she never went to the police before she sent the letter to the Congresswoman. The same questions that people have about Christine Blasey Ford, just her story. The same, questions that they have are the same questions that I have now with the accusers of Fairfax.
And those questions, by the way, because this is really important, women don't report to the police. They are embarrassed. They can, some of them blame themselves. Some of them just want to go away and be quiet. Right, they're going to be attacked, embarrassed, and what have you. So that's a fair conclusion and a choice for them to make. But those factors then and 10 to 15 years later are still in play, So either you want justice, right, or you want political revenge. And I'm not passing judgment on it.
Spencer.
It's tough. I'm a friend of Justin, and so it's, tough for me to be objective about this. And obviously, we don't have any women right now on the show.
Yeah, but you're also a lawyer.
Right. That
so
is true.
You can be a friend of Justin, but you can also speak as a lawyer.
Right.
And again, I'm asking you a very specific question. What you have here is, the question is, if you come out publicly and you want justice, how do you define justice? As a lawyer, if in one case they're saying resign, but they haven't filed complaints.
And going into an adversarial situation where, evidence is going to come out and there's a full investigation, it, certainly would seem as though you're likely to get a better truth.
Get justice.
Get justice and truth, right? Now, I think their argument is going to be, hey, this is their argument. Hey, we didn't do this. We didn't bring this on ourselves. We don't want to change our lives to deal with this. We've made our statements and we want to move on. And I think that
No. But yesterday, Watson's lawyer released a statement saying they are more than ready to testify in an impeachment hearing, that they have documentation, that they will present emails as well. And so this is what their lawyers are saying. So what I'm hearing,
why not go to the police?
So what I'm hearing is we are more than willing to testify at an impeachment hearing. But to Scott's point, well, you haven't filed an actual criminal complaint.
And you don't want to really test if I'm Justin Fairfax. I don't necessarily want to test them doing it but because they could do it. But watch for this strategy now, right? Why doesn't Majette and Justin Fairfax, if they're denying it, and now there's all this stuff out here on one or both of the women, but the second woman, Watson, then watch for them, or at least behind the scenes considering whether they file a civil lawsuit against both women, denying it and alleging defamation and perhaps all those things along those lines of defamation. Watch that as a strategy, because if that comes out, that strengthens their case in regard to the public and political opinion.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, calling all HBCU alumni, students, and leaders. Enter the Ford Motor Company HBCU Mobility Challenge and win $25,000 for your school. Building on their long-term support of HBCUs, Ford is looking to improve mobility in HBCU communities through innovative solutions. The winning program will receive a grant of up to $25,000 to implement their proposal. The deadline to apply is March 31st, 2019. Go to FGB.Life. That's FGB.Life. That's the website right there. FGB.Life for more info and to apply. That's for Scott, who sometimes can't pay attention. Ford goes further in our community. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.